Hey, Sunday night soul timers. We are in September. Well, we have been for a little bit, right? And I want to spend the next few Sunday night soul times with you, really getting back to this idea that we started the year with, if you've been following along this year, with this idea of stepping out of surviving and into thriving and doing a check on some of our foundations. Okay. We're entering what is for many like the busiest time of the year, right? Fall is a time of harvest. It's also, time of holiday season coming up. And it just tends to be so much busier, that on top of back to school for so many, right? And so we can get distracted easily. We can get into unconsciousness and start feeling depleted because we are not having active conscious awareness for honoring what we need to thrive, right? If you kind of fall into unconsciousness, you just find yourself, you're going through routine, you're going through emotions, you're on that hamster wheel, and then you start to feel really depleted. And look, this life that we are all living, it's sacred. Our time is sacred. So being in conscious awareness of how you're choosing to do that, how you're choosing to approach and enter in each day is so important. And that's why we started the year with intentions and getting intentional. And we're going to come back to that next month. But what I really want to do this month with you is really foundation check. And one of the most important parts of foundation check is what you are doing in your morning routine. Look, there is so much science behind this, but you don't need it. You know, if you've done it, how you start to approach your day, what you choose to do with your thoughts, your body, your emotions, all the things, devotion, if you have a spiritual practice, absolutely informs how you're going to experience that day, how you're going to react to things that come up each day as they do, whether you're going to enter through your day with stress and anxiety, joy, abundance. Having a morning routine and honoring it, not skipping it, that is purely designed for you and what you need is one of the most important things you can do for yourself as a foundation. So what I want to invite you to do is to create a morning routine. And with that, I invite you to create two different ones. One is your ideal, but realistic ideal, okay, that you think you can do 2 days a week, okay, at least. And amount of time. And then we'll talk about things, options of ways you design that, use that time in a way that serves you. The other is okay, it's on the days maybe when I'm traveling or things are busy. So it's not your ideal, but it's something. And what that amount of time is, maybe it's 20 minutes. Look, when we get into all or nothing thinking, like if I can't do it all, I do nothing, we're not in service of ourselves. So create two. I want to invite you to create two and then design something that works for you. And I invite you to do something that varies, different activities, because different activities serve our bodies, different activities serve our mind, our emotions, and all of that. So the invitation is to create and design a morning routine that works. And if you've had a morning routine for a while, ask yourself, is this really working for me? Do I want to play and try and do something different? Okay. So you get your ideals, right? And I want to give you some options. So I have a little bit of notes here. I am looking at, just FYI, of options for you to consider, right? For your ideal and then for your shorter one. The first thing I want to really recommend is that you do something to quiet your mind. Okay. So much of the suffering, the unnecessary we cause ourselves is addiction to thought or over attachment to thought, constantly being in the mind, constantly worrying about things that haven't yet happened, or just choosing negative perception, choosing negative thinking. And the best way to conquer this is through some kind of consistent mindfulness practice. So I want to give you two on that front. The first, which I want to gently urge you to do if you don't do it already, is meditation. Meditation is one of those things that if you consistently show up for it, it's not a one it and done it. It's not instantaneous, but you will see probably the greatest shifts in your well-being of any kind of practice you could do. Okay. Meditation is not journaling. Some types of yoga are meditation, but not entirely, right? So with meditation, it is really getting quiet observing your thoughts, the practice of observing your thoughts rather than being identified with them. And look, it's so easy nowadays. There are so many different meditation apps, from Calm to Headspace to Insight Timer, that it's really easy day. So find an app that you like, and 10 minutes within your morning routine or more if you like, where you just sit, you put the headphones in, you close your eyes, and you let the app take you through some kind of meditation. If meditation is just not working for you, you could try breath work as well. So you would just put on some kind of a timer, okay? And you would just practice deep sacred breathing. You could do a box breath, which is, you inhale for 4 counts. It's a 4-4-4. Inhale for 4, eyes closed. Hold the breath for 4, hold the breath for 4 counts. Exhale through the mouth for 4 counts, and repeat that over some amount of time. But I really recommend you doing that. The other thing I recommend you doing is some kind of part of a morning routine. And this is really good for those of you that just don't take time to reflect and get in touch with how you're feeling about things, process things, integrate things. And that would be to have a journaling practice. So maybe you meditate, maybe then you meditate your journal for 10 minutes and just journal on what you're feeling, what you're nervous about, anything you're worried about, anything that's salient for you. Look, you could Google, any type of like journaling probes if you want to do that as well. That you take some moment for just self-reflection about what you're feeling, what you're processing at the moment, what's alive for you, maybe something that you really want to bring into your life. And that's a really great practice for just having you be in healthy emotional balance. Another thing you could do is just really work with intentions as well, like we started the year with as part of this, where you just take time to get quiet, right? And really visualize intentions, things that you want to be manifesting, or doing some prayer work around that. Another great kind of practice for, what I'll call inner reflection is reading or listening to something inspirational, something that really uplifts you as a way to just bring positive energy into the start of your day. Okay. A final one is to have some kind of gratitude practice. So pick, 1 or 2 of these: journaling, deeper prayer and intention work, if that speaks to you, reading, listening to something inspirational, or some kind of gratitude practice where you just sit and you make a list. You could be a journaling exercise in itself of things that you're grateful for in your life. And there's so many different types of gratitude practices as well. It could be a review of day, even at the end of day. So that's that. Finally, the third bucket I invite you to really, pick something in is just something to get in touch with your body. So if you do some light stretching, if you go and take a walk, if you have the time for that, maybe you do like to start exercise with the day, but something to get your body going. It helps with things like anxiety. It helps with things like depression, and all of that good stuff. Okay. So what I invite you to do is just make this your own, play with some things, but design a morning routine that has these different components where you're working on the mind and quieting the mind. You're making time to reflect, go within, do some kind of emotional processing, or spending time with really uplifting content that energizes you and motivates you for the day. And then just doing something to get your body in line with the heart and mind as well, whether that's yoga, light stretching, getting out and just taking a walk. Okay. So that is the practice for this month. Again, we're checking our foundations, and core of your foundation to thriving is that you honor a morning routine that is about you, your self-care, your well-being, the alignment of mind, body, spirit. So I hope that you'll explore that this week and find something that works for you. Also, we do have the Woman's Purpose Retreat coming up. You saw the note if you get the email. If you're interested in receiving an invitation to attend, be sure to reach out. We'd love to have you there. Okay, that's it. Have a great Sunday night. Bye for now.